did you listen to growing up?
The Clash. Probably my first cassette. Well, the first cassette I ever bought was Asia. If that counts, like in 7th grade or whatever. Yeah, I mean, the first probably formative thing I could think of is probably the Clash, you know, and that covers so many bases of so many different kinds of sounds, you know. So.
What did that grow into? As far as influencing what you listened to later?
Man, I definitely listened to stuff like Bauhaus and Alien Sex Fiend, probably like high school age, you know. And there again, like Bauhaus covered a lot of bases, right? Like it was, you know, so many different sounds. So if you pick a band that has a lot of different kind of things throughout their history, then, you know, that's pretty interesting. But then then I started like probably. When we started doing the band and stuff, it was like listen to Slayer, Big Black, Butthole Surfers, and Tiffany.
Was that influenced by the other members?
Probably. Well,
just being in
no.
college or?
I think yeah. Mark probably got me into Big Black and stuff, and then I had a tape with Big Black on it, and I was like, what album is this? And he's like, oh, that's not Big Black, that's Butthole Surfers. I was like, oh shit, really? This is awesome. So I think I got into Butthole Surfers thinking it was Big Black, just, you know, when I started listening to it. But and then also stuff like found cassettes like Carolina Rainbow, and then that was when I got into pop music too, where I heard about Tiffany.
Yeah.
And I was like, teen pop singer, like I gotta check this out. And I did this thing where I was like, you know, why is pop music popular? Or what about pop music? There's something, you know, why does everyone like it so much or whatever? It's crap. It's like not interesting. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this pop singer and I'm gonna listen to it 100 times and see, you know, if I can figure this out. And I learned to like it. You know, I forced myself to like it by repetition. And it's not just like liking it ironically. I crossed a line there where it was like, I'm singing along, I'm feeling like the emotions of the songs, you know, and there's like nothing to the songs, but it kind of goes to prove that, to me at least, people like what they want to like, you know, and you get that second album by your favorite band, and it's like, you listen to it first time, you're like, I don't know, and you listen to it like 20 more times, and then you start really liking it. So it's like, what if you never had that first album? You probably wouldn't have even liked that, right? You forced yourself to like it because you wanted to like it. And I've done that with, since then, you know, Britney Spears, Lady Gaga, you know, it's like, there's always at least one pop music person at a time that I've been listening to, that Paula Abdul, same thing, you know, but genuinely liking it. So I think that's not necessarily as an influence, but it's an influence in the sense that, and that's why if a band is getting bigger, I think that's why they get bigger. It's because like more people listen to them, which makes other people think it's good, and they're like, oh, I heard this is good. I want to be part of something, you know. And so it gets bigger. It's just it's kind of a social psychology of, you know, the dynamic of music.
What things inspired the concept of the Warlock Pinchers?
I think probably the main thing is that we're all really different. You know, we're all like going to college together and like hating Boulder, you know, just all this stuff in Boulder coming at us, and we all, you know, totally different influences, personalities, styles. So when you get all these kinds of guys into a band, we didn't try to create a certain kind of band. Like I wanted to have some like noise aspects to it or whatever. So I like brought a tape deck and a Freon can and a cymbal, and it's like, so I'm doing the stuff that I want to do, you know, to add to it. And then like, you know, pop songs, and then like King Scratchy's like, you know, he's into the dance hall and hip hop and stuff, and like he's writing all these insane rhymes and stuff, right? So you would never have a rock band writing crazy rhymes, you know, because it's like they want to have simple rhymes with a hook and they're done, right? So I think just between us two, and then like, you know, I think everyone, they just added what, like if I was in a band, I would want to play this kind of music, and then everyone together ended up making something that wasn't really a genre. It was just a weird thing, you know.
Who came up with the name, the Shield logo idea?
The name, there was a guy named The Cobbler. Our first single was called This Is the Cobbler and He Hates Your Bell Bottoms. But that guy was friends with Dan and Mark in high school, and he was at Wax Trax Records, like looking through, you know, heavy metal albums, and he saw Warlock, you know, with Doro Pesh, and then I think he just came up with, like, just kind of out of the blue, he's like, I think the ultimate name for a band would be Warlock Pinchers, and like Dan's like, I don't know what he was talking about, but then when they started doing the band, like it was Mark and Dan in high school, that was the name of the band. You know, later we found like Pinchers is like I think he's a Jamaican rhyme writer, so it was like, oh, Pinchers, yeah. So it's like now we're
the building.
Yeah. So and then we find out later also that a Warlock Pincher is a kind of a Doberman Pinscher, where the hair actually grows the other way.
Right.
So it was like, in interviews and stuff, we'd be like, we named it after this dog with the weird hair growing the wrong way. So it was just like, you know, it kind of evolved. And then the Shield logo, so at that time, like in the late 80s, you know, all like the rap and hip hop bands and you know, jerseys and stuff, and they were all like sporting Raiders gear and stuff, and I was like, so I'll stick the claim to be, I was like, Mark, we need to because we had this devil head, and we was like official Sound of Satan, you know. I was like, we need to take our devil head and put it in like a Raiders like logo, because it's kind of making fun of like the hip hop scene or whatever with the sports jerseys. And so yeah, Mark he just added it in, and you know, it ended up being like the most recognizable thing that, and we still are using it, you know.
Have you ever heard anything from the Raiders about it?
Never heard anything from the Raiders. We hear a lot of things from Broncos fans, because that was the other funny part about it, is that we're in Denver, so people are like, you know what town you're in, right? This is Broncos territory. It's like, this is Pinchers. It's not Raiders. It's a band. And even someone just the other day was telling me they were wearing Pincher gear like 2 weeks ago, and Rod Smith or somebody from the Broncos was like at a restaurant. He's like, I should be throwing rocks at you for wearing that. And they're like, this is a band. It's not, it has nothing to do with the Raiders, you know. But people wear it in Oakland and stuff too. And I don't know, I can't remember what response is, but I mean, it has been really transcended, you know, all other logos by far.